Hello, today I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to make your work look more professional before you try to turn in your poster. So when you pull back your poster back up, hopefully you have your background color, your title, and a picture of a flower. If that's all you have, that's awesome. If you also have your face on there, even better. Okay, so once you have your face on there, right now most of us should have cropped our face to fit on our flower a little bit. Yes, I changed my face. Anyhow, if I were to click on this face picture to crop it, you would see that originally it was this big, and I cropped out my hubsters. You can still see his smile there, okay? However, it still looks like a rectangle and blocks most of the flower. So to make it look better, there's a really cool thing you can do called mask image. And you can do it with shapes, and I can choose oval. When I choose the oval shape, notice it crops down just down to my face. And if you don't feel like it's cropping it enough, you can bring in the oval a little bit from the corner so that it fits just exactly what you want it to fit. Okay? And so once you get that oval exactly where you want it, then you just press enter. And when you press enter, ta-da, now your face is either in a circle or an oval to fit lovely right inside of there. Now, if you do that and you're like, oh, I think I actually want it to be a circle, so it's like the center of a daisy, simple. I'll press that crop image button again, and I can bring this up until it's more circular, okay? So you decide what you want for your image. Also, since the center of a daisy is yellow, I can choose to border that cropping. So I can say, I want my border to be yellow, and I want to make my border weight 3 times so it's really visible. And now there's a McMullen face in the middle of a yellow daisy. Ta-da! If I press save and close, what's really great is it'll update that on my poster, and it's still there. However, a lot of you, the next step would be to go about including the information that we need to include. And I don't really want you to just come below your image and try to start typing. Because if you were to do that, then it just doesn't look very professional. And unfortunately, we can't do text boxes right on docs. So you either need to do one of 2 things. Either you need to insert a different drawing, which we can put on top of here for text boxes, or you can double click back on this drawing and put text boxes on it. I'm going to show you both ways. If I double click on this drawing to put text boxes back on it, once I'm in here, I can just come to my text box and I can make my shape. Now remember, grammar and spelling matters. So if I want to talk about what I love, but I don't want to use complete sentences, I can say loves, spell it right though, and I'll put a colon indicating I'm about to make a list, okay? Then I will press enter, and if you come to these 3 dots, that means there's more tools. Then I'll choose the bulleted list, and I love riding bikes, I know you're shocked, running, and family. There are 3 things that I love. I mean, obviously I have a tremendous amount more, but that's the minimum requirements. If I put riding bikes, running, and family, I'm fulfilling what's required of me. Now, if I just do it like that, it still just looks like words on a paper. However, what's really cool is I can then make this text box kind of pop, okay? So if I wanted to make it a little smaller so it's not interrupting my daisy, then I also have to change my font size. That's not that hard, don't worry. You can come inside your text box and click and drag, and then choose the font size that you want over here. Okay, now everything fits in. But what I can also do is I can choose fill, and I can fill my text box with a color. I can make my font whatever color I want here. And then I can give a border to my text box as well to make it pop. So I'm going to make it 4 points so that it's nice and thick. And I'm going to make my border color blue because I think yellow and blue look pretty together. And ta-da, now I have a text box inside of my picture. Please notice though, my text box border and this border don't match. So I might want to change that. Plus they're overlapping. So it's not a big deal if you want to move it. You can move things around until it looks right. So if you're like, oh, those colors don't go well together, because that does matter once it's printed, please remember that you can change things anytime. Okay, so that's one way to put in a text box. I'll say save and close, and as I said before, it'll pop right in. The other way to put in a text box would be to actually say insert, and we're going to, sorry, I have to click off of it. Sorry. And then you say insert drawing again, and this time I want a new drawing. Now that I'm in my new drawing, I can insert a different text box, okay? And so I'll do the same thing. I'll insert a text box, and this time I'm going to say thrives with tactile learning. And so, because I am a tactile learner. And now I need to tell everyone what in the world that means, because a lot of people don't know what that means. And so I'm going to come here, and again, I'm going to press enter, come to my 3 dots, and choose a bulleted list. And so I thrive with tactile learning, meaning that I need to build and touch things. It means that movement helps me memorize. Okay? It also means that I can learn by taking things apart and putting them back together. Okay, so I want to put all those things in there. Please notice I did not use complete sentences, but I only did that because I used it as a bulleted list. I could have also said, I have many ways to thrive while I'm learning. I can thrive while I'm building and touching different objects. Movement is a tool I use to help me memorize. I also really like when I can take apart and rebuild items. So again, I could have used complete sentences, and that would have worked out just as well. Now, because if you have too many colors on your page, it looks crazy. You want to make sure that your text boxes look the same, okay? So when you do include text boxes in there, try really hard to remember that color and thickness and all of those things, they matter, okay? So you want to try and keep everything the same. And if they're not the same right away, you can go back and change it at any point in time. Saying that, I also remember that I used size 12 font last time, so I want to make sure I use size 12 again. As soon as I did that, I can change the size of my text box because it became much smaller. Once I say save and close, my text box will pop up on my page. Now, when it does, it doesn't pop up in a good way. It messed up my whole poster, which I could either freak out about or just fix. So in this case, I'm going to fix by pressing wrap text. Once I say wrap text, now I have the freedom to move my text box around the paper wherever I want it. So now I can move it about wherever I would like it to go. Oh no, I lost it somehow. No big deal. I'm going to say Command Z and it will come right back. 2 final important things to note. Whichever image you touch last is the image that goes on top. That's a little bit of a change from the past, so please know that. For example, if I were to touch this main image again, now notice, and move it, my other text box goes underneath it. That's why I thought I lost it. So if I click and drag this off the page, and then I move this back down where it belongs, I can click and drag this back to where I want it. And notice that center red line, that helps me know it's centered, which I love. Okay, so now everything's in place the way I want it. However, my colors aren't the same, so I know I'd want to go back here and revise that color. But more importantly, I want you to know that if I went into my drawing, sometimes when I first made my drawing, I had accidentally made it so that it extended beyond the parameters of the drawing page. Okay, and so I couldn't see the bottom of it is what I mean. So if that didn't make any sense to you. So when that was the case, when I said save and close, that meant that you couldn't see my border all the way at the bottom. So make sure that you notice that you make your image small enough to fit within your drawing page, and then you'll get to see all parts of your image, borders included. So while I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to correct this color so I have the same colors for my borders. It might take me a few tries because I clearly don't remember which one it is. And so once I have them so that they're matching, then I will be able to be happy and put it back in there. I didn't get it yet, but I'll fix it at some point. So again, when I look back, my poster looks awesome. I would just need one more text box and then I would say, I'm done, hooray! I know some friends who used more visuals instead of words to tell me about what they love, what they wonder about, and how they thrive. I don't care how you tell me about it, as long as you tell me. I look forward to learning more about you all. Have fun. Good luck making these look professional. Make sure when you're done, you edit yourself against your rubric. You edit a friend's against their rubric, and then you have it approved by Mrs. Roschke or Mrs. Fick before you click that turn in button. All right, good luck everyone. I look forward to seeing what you do.